Hey guys, Sinborn here. Thought I'd do an update on the Wolcen experience. Today, a patch dropped, and it's a very interesting one. And yes, I cut my hair off. I did it myself. um, so they addressed the being able to upgrade uniques into legendaries, and they basically stated they like it. It wasn't intentional, and it's disabled. And the thing that's a real big kicker is get fucked. Every item that was upgraded is reversed. I mean, like I had I had this weapon. It was a legendary, and I had a pretty cool setup on it, and now it's back to being its normal shitty self. So that really sucks. I kind of expected it, but at the same time, I didn't think that they would, basically make it all go away. I thought they would just like stop it from happening, and then like everybody's items that they worked hard for and crafted, kind of thought it would be left. I don't know. I don't know what they expected or what they were expecting. I think at this point we're pretty much beta testing, and I don't think it should have been removed. But that was the choice that they decided to go with. They fixed people that had crazy amounts of gold, and I didn't even know there was a primordial affinity thing as well, but there was an exploit for that. Apparently there was like crazy amount of temporary productivity bonuses. Sure. I didn't really quite understand this. It is now possible to put unique items in the transmutation forge or dark matter market item upgrade projects. Unique items that have been transformed this way have been reset. If you already have a pending one, it'll return it. It'll basically go to a legendary and then that. But it says it is now possible to put an item in there. But then they go to state that it's being transformed back. I don't know exactly what that means. But they're stating that if there's an item that's already in there, it'll go to a legendary, and then when you reset, it'll go back to being a shitty unique again. That sucks. Yeah, they fixed some bugs, apparently. Nothing really crazy. Excuse me. They might have fixed Leech with Force Shield. I'm not 100% sure. There was a couple things that kind of dictated that it's possible. Some kind of matchmaking error. I haven't even used matchmaking yet, so that's that. I didn't even know this was a thing, so that's whatever. They fixed a quest, which is great. Hopefully it actually is fixed, because people were having issues. There's a monolith, myself included. It took me resetting the game about 15 times. Okay, the charging of the skills thing was kind of annoying, but it wasn't that big a deal. They nerfed some spell, crit, damage. That's fine. Juggernaut, there was an issue that you would stun yourself. Kind of hilarious. Sovereign Shout. Apparently wasn't applying weakness stacks when using Dawnbreaker modifier. Winter's Grasp, it says Winter's Grasp now doesn't gain cooldown reduction per level. And I was like, well, there goes my build. But, I mean,
Not possible.
so I don't know what that means. I guess it's possible that if I were to like uncheck this and then recheck it, it might have a cooldown then. But I don't want to do that,
Can't manage that right
so I'm not going to. So I don't know what 100% this means, but it apparently was nerfed. I mean, I have cooldown reduction, but I think I only have like 36% on my pants. Yeah, I have 36% on my pants, but I don't think I have cooldown reduction on like anything else. So unless 36% is enough, then cool. But if not, then it has the potential to then, I don't know, has the potential to then go away. Maybe this has a cooldown if you mess with your runes. So I guess don't mess with your runes, just in case, if you're playing this build. But, oh, this is for the hammers. It was giving 100% no matter if you had block or not, so that's fixed. Bleeding Edge got nerfed to the shit, but it's probably still good. I mean, it did lose a flat damage. It did reduce some of the damage reduction. I don't know what Unstoppable Momentum is, so I because I've never used Bleeding Edge like realistically. I mean, I did for like a couple maps, but it wasn't that strong in the build that I was using it in. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. But I know that this is a huge fucking nerf. 20% to 2. That's pretty huge per element. It still should be good, I think, but we'll see. Looks like they buffed a bunch of minion things, which I haven't even touched. I remember I summoned one of the... What was it? I summoned like a golem dude, and he was kind of meh. I think it wasn't feeding swarm. One of the golem, there was a golem guy I summoned, and he was, yeah, this guy here, Liver Mortis. He was pretty shit. Like, he had a crazy amount of health, but like, what does that do? Like, the damage was like non-existent. But I didn't go all in on minions, so maybe I'll try to make a minion build. It's interesting. Looks like they made the AI faster and the target. They probably made him more aggressive, just like PoE did. And they increased health and damage and stuff like that. Oops. What else did they do? Oh, they fixed a bunch of Gate of Fates, which was like kind of a big deal because a lot of the passives weren't working. They buffed and nerfed some, and then hopefully fixed. I think Faith Leech was the one that was, the one that allowed you to regen or to leech energy shield. Yeah, so this might actually work now, which is interesting. That's hopefully good. Hopefully it doesn't reset back to 0, because that's what it was doing. You would leech to full, and then you would go straight back to 0, which was pretty shit. So maybe that's fixed, which is cool. Fixed a bunch of other stuff. Apparently they're just computational errors. But none of it really affected me, I don't believe. Changed some monsters around. I think they nerfed one because it was not working correctly. There was a hitbox issue. Endgame, reduced some prices of stuff. Reduced productivity multiplier from expeditions by 50%, which is kind of, I don't know, kind of lame. Because, I mean, I'm doing, what? I'm doing 139, I think?
Welcome to the Purple
Yeah,
Phoenix.
well, I'll get to this in a minute, but, yeah, so some endgame stuff got changed around, but nothing really exciting, to be honest. Maybe some loot that was a little lower than expected. I'm guessing this has to do with the uniques not dropping as often as they should, so that'll be interesting. This could compensate for this loss here, so that's interesting. Oh, there was one, they made it so that the Omen...
They say time passes quicker when you're old. Doesn't feel like it.
You shut up, guy. The Omens thing, yeah, Wealth of Omens now gives 1 stack of gold per hit instead of 3. That's pretty huge. Anytime I attacked the Wealth of Omens, I would like legit like go down to about 2 FPS. I think that's probably because it's so many Ice Novas that it just kind of hits so often that it just like had trouble calculating how much gold to spit out. But yeah, it was pretty bad, and I did a map earlier today, and attacking an Omen was still laggy, but not anywhere near as bad. They fixed some issues with Helms not having... Well, they were able to have 2 sockets. I'm not sure if they want them to have 2 sockets, or if they want them to have no sockets. I actually have never even tried to put
a patron of exquisite taste.
Sockets on boots.
Welcome
I don't even
to
know
my
if they're
store.
supposed to. No. So
It's not possible.
I don't know what they mean about that. I guess some pair of boots were able to have sockets. I didn't even know about that. Yeah, nothing really too important there. Some audio fixes, which I didn't really seem like a big deal. Maybe just some improvements or whatever. But yeah, this is just a follow-up video, I guess, of my experience with the game and then what they just recently changed. And this kind of dictates how I feel about the game because of how they are, basically how they're patching it. That was kind of a big deal for me. Like, how are they going forward? And I mean, they did fix a lot of stuff, which is good, but I'm still having issues with the game. I basically can't progress past this expedition. Anything
What do
in
you
Paragon, I don't know what it is about Paragon, but I'll roll it, and I'll roll it with no modifier, so it can't be a modifier. Basically,
No
what
shortage
happens
of jobs like
is
this. Stormfall's
I
gone to
guess
the
you'll
dogs.
see, but the game basically is like it can't handle the build. I guess I don't know exactly why,
I can't do that right now.
but it basically dies. And I want to use any other skill. I'll literally only use this one skill. So far, it's doing fine.
That can't be done.
You'll see when it actually happens. Hoping it does it, because I swear it does it every single. I literally can't do 3 in a row. Oops, I used a skill. This is, well, I'll play how I would normally
It
play.
can't be done.
Well, here we go. That's a good example. This is a really good experience right here. Potions are doing nothing. They're like literally. I don't know what's happening, to be honest. Like, nothing's actually happening. The game's just actually frozen. But it kind of catches up, and then loot drops eventually. Then you're able to actually interact with stuff eventually. And I know that it's not just Winter's Grasp that's doing this. It's other things as well. I've seen other streamers. Datmods was playing just a Havoc Orb build, so he was grouping up monsters then attacking them with Anomaly and like something else. But it wasn't like a crazy build. It was just like this is what I have to deal with in anything in Paragon. But for some reason outside of Paragon, it's perfectly fine. I can actually play the game. I do have to reset the game every like map or two, I guess,
That can't be
which
done.
isn't really awesome or anything, but yeah, it's basically unplayable. This is how I would normally play,
Not possible.
and it's just the bodies are flopping. It's not even that. There's not even that many monsters. It's not like I'm grouping up the whole dungeon. It's not like I'm... I mean, I played this build all the way up until this point, but for some reason, something in Paragon,
Can't manage that right now.
it just, every now and then, will just die. Like right now, like, like, I don't know what's happening with him. Maybe he was just frozen. He might have been okay. I don't know. I haven't really experimented with other things, but at this point... I mean, it sounds cool. I like when it does that, because it sounds beefy and crunchy. But I don't like when it does this. Like, this is unplayable. Absolutely unplayable. I actually can't enjoy the game. So, I don't know what to do. I guess I can change my build. I mean, look at my FPS. Fucking 19. With a 2080 Ti. And I guess if I go away from it, it goes back up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, this used to work. It's never done this before until I got to Paragon. Like if I just return to main menu. Well, yeah, here we go. So let's send the crash report. Maybe it'll mean something. I was doing a DX diag, huh? Okay, cool. At least they make it easy to do a bug report. I mean, you know. So this will be on a fresh game, right? And I want to play this game so bad. I want to have fun. I want to like get to the end game. The build has so much damage. It has the potential to be end game viable for sure. Super tanky. It's got max block. It's got 40% efficiency for block. The damage is there. I just can't actually play it. And oh, I have all the settings turned literally to the minimum. It doesn't really seem to affect anything. It really doesn't change the way the game looks. Realistically, I don't really notice a big difference from low to ultra. So even in FPS as well, like FPS doesn't really change from maybe 10 or 15 FPS until I start casting Winter's Grasp, but then eventually the frames go down. But yeah, I'm using Riva Tuner to monitor the FPS and whatnot. So that was a Paragon, but if I go to anything less than a Paragon, If I go to the highest master, I can even put
to
in,
work.
you know, like whatever. Put in 5 modifiers. Normally, it should be fine because on a fresh install, I should be able to do 3 in a row without an issue.
Hello there, friend.
Once I can fucking.
Please browse my wares.
Oh, that's the thing. That's another thing. The portal takes like forever to go up. It's kind of weird. There should also be a
I'll be here
an
when you need
icon
me,
when you
friend.
have the whatchamacallit already. Alright, so this is just a Master 127. But anything but Paragon, it seems to be, you know, mostly fine. That was kind of weird that the loot, like, followed me. Never had that happen before, but I guess I never really ran when I was opening a chest. Is there just gonna be no monsters? Like, what the fuck? Okay. Okay, we got some monsters. Alright, cool.
I can't do that right now.
So far, I don't believe it's ever did the really, really crazy freezy thing until I like let it run for like multiple maps in a row. Like without resetting the game. I know it gets pretty laggy when I use Sovereign Shout because of... Alright, so here's an omen that I was talking about earlier. The FPS goes down to like 30. Okay, no, that went down to 8. Alright, I guess it's still pretty bad. But that's not that big a deal. It's kind of cool because at least the omens are fun and they give you lots of loot. I got most of my gold from doing omen maps.
Can't manage that right now.
But yeah, I mean, as you can see, this is a playable experience. Like, it's nothing... Like, I'd love for it to be, you know, smoother and whatnot. And I'd love for there to be more monsters. Like, I don't know what's going on. And people are complaining about not having randomized dungeons. And I'm like, whatever. That doesn't really bother me that much. I don't really pay attention to the maps anyways. But, like, having no monsters, this is really kind of strange.
It can't be done.
Like a fully juiced one as well. Okay, well that's the boss area. That's another thing that they need to work on. They need to have the boss spawn on you like in Diablo. I mean, if they're gonna be like Diablo, they might as well fucking copy everything because that's a very big quality of life thing to not have to run all the way the fuck back here for the boss. Either that or have like a to make it different, have like a portal open up, and then you walk into the portal, and you fight the boss. And why is there no monsters? What is happening? This is the fucking weirdest shit I've ever seen. This has never happened. I guess just add another bug to the list. There's just no monsters. There's just literally no monsters.
Gotta catch my breath.
It's also weird that the chest like opens up onto you. That was a bit of a delay, but still playable. Something with master power, or something with anything past master. Okay, at this, like, that was all the monsters of this entire map. So that's a new bug. I don't know what to say. This game's basically unplayable now. So going back to the first video I talked about, where I was saying that it was playable and I would recommend buying it, I take that back. The game is buggier than I anticipated. And it is, like, before it wasn't ruining my game experience because I was playing, I guess, a build that didn't get influenced by many of the bugs. But now, I mean, there was the memory leak or whatever you want to call it, the VRAM leak or something that caused the frames to progressively go down. There was that. But at this point, having to restart the game every 5 minutes and having to basically just
Take your
dodge all the
time.
I don't know.
I'm going for a nap.
This shit too. Right clicking. I'm right clicking. I'd love to use these interacts. There they go. I'm guessing because I was opening a portal. Sometimes it just doesn't register the clicks, which is
Please,
annoying.
look around. I'm sure you'll find something that takes your fancy.
Ooh, this helmet's pretty solid. Yeah, you know,
Got
I'm just gonna
everything
do
you
one.
need?
I'm just gonna run into here and
Excellent.
see if that
Come
was like
back
a
soon.
fluke, or if like now my game's just fucking bugged.
Can't manage that right
Okay, these monsters. It must have just been that one tile set they might have broke with the patch, which is another bad thing because that means they can only fix it in a week, unless they've solved that issue. But I don't know.
now. Not possible.
This bug here also, where like potion, nothing. It just ignores you. Yeah, I don't understand. And then this bug here, where you can't pick up loot.
It's not
That's
possible.
cool. I like not having the ability to pick up something that dropped. Nothing. No. Yeah, the game's fucked. I don't know what to say. I was trying to be optimistic. The game has so much good potential. Can I pick this loot up? Oh, I can. Cool. Can I pick up the other loot? Okay, so I guess if you just go back, I guess you can pick up the loot. Either way, it's just bug after bug after bug. Little things that just kind of add up over time.
I can't do that right now.
Yeah, I can't recommend it. No way. I want to, but it's still barely playable in Ultra, and I don't know. I can't recommend it. The fact that you can't port a lot of these as well, and you have to like go back to the main menu and then open up a new game is kind of also really annoying. Just let us leave and just be like, have a little message, be like, hey, if you leave, it's no longer gonna work, and you're forfeiting that area. Like, very simple, like small things like this. I mean, it's a released game, so it should be good, but it's not. I mean, they fixed a lot of things apparently, but nothing that really affected me, to be honest. At this point, I'm just gonna test unchecking the cooldown thing and then rechecking it to see if that actually like, because at this point I like, can't even play, so it doesn't even matter. So we'll see here. So right now it has no cooldown. I'm gonna uncheck this cooldown 1.2. So now it's still. So you apparently at max level, in order to get it to have no cooldown, you have to have 36% cooldown reduction. See, that's okay. So like now it gets to the point where like if you get cooldown reduction on your gear, you can start dropping these and start grabbing more things. I like that. See, that's good. That's one good thing, I guess. So it's not bugged, it's just I have just enough cooldown reduction to make it free. I'm guessing without something here.
Please, look around. I'm sure you'll find
So I'm
something
guessing if
that
I were to
takes your
take
fancy.
off whatever I had cooldown reduction on here, it would have a cooldown still, yeah?
That can't be done.
No? 1.6. Wait, what? Before I reduced it by 1.2, now it's reducing it by 1.6. What does that even mean? Cooldown reduces cooldown 1.2. Alright, I don't know. I don't know what to say. The game's fucking bugged. It has such good potential, but they gotta do some shit. They gotta fix it. I can't recommend it. So I don't recommend it. Unfortunately, I can't be playing it right now. We got Path of Exiles League coming out in 2 weeks. So I'll be playing that. Until then, I actually don't have a game to play. I'm gonna have to do some digging around and seeing what I want to play. Maybe some Monster Hunter World, because Monster Hunter World's always fun, but I typically enjoy it more with a friend. Then I have to play whenever he plays, which is fine. Yeah, well, sorry guys if you guys bought the game when I recommended it and then you're dealing with the same shit I'm dealing with. But hopefully it will be better. I imagine in 6 months' time, this game will be great. But until then, I would recommend playing something else. Unless the build you're playing doesn't have this issue, I might respect the character and play something else, maybe. But like, I feel like if I just respect the character, something else I'll pick is gonna be bugged. I mean, I have been keeping like basically every single legendary unique that I've ever found. So I have the options to like, you know, change into something different if I want to go like a melee build or like a different caster build. Maybe I go like I was doing before, just going full full damage over time, like what is it called? Anomaly with Winter's Grasp, but not spamming it, just like one hit, and then Bulwark of the Dawn. So maybe that, I don't know, because that's much less for the game to handle. Maybe it'll be like okay. I don't know what to do. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, or at least were entertained a little bit by some of the interesting things that happened in this video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, click that like button, comment down below if you're having the same issues, or if you found something that's a way to fix it, because I've tried everything. I put everything completely down to low. I turned off basically anything I could think of. I turned off anti-aliasing, I turned off sharpness, chromatic aberration, whatever the fuck that is. I have turned this off, but it turned itself back on, so I guess that means yay. I guess that was one of the things that they were talking about in the patch notes. Now it'll save. But yeah, see you guys in the next video.